Alright, today we are playing For the King 2. I have not played this at all, so let's check this out. Comes on challenges and awards. Change the difficulty, okay. We'll just stick with the default. I don't know, let's just go with the default for right now. Here you will set up your ideal party, set a loadout, and prepare to adventure. Select customize to edit your character, add characters to your party using enter and remove characters. Okay. Just gonna add stable hand. Character class is the archetype of your character. Each class comes with their own skills and starting gear. Skills are passive abilities that are unique to each character. They will prove vital to your adventure. These are your character stats. Stats will be used for movement, combat, and will determine the effectiveness of your roles needed throughout your journey. Each role will be based around a specific stat. Don't forget to plan accordingly. Okay. Hard work. Chance to gain primary action upon consuming remaining focus, allowing the current turn to continue. Starting equipment, tinder pouch. Okay. So what do we have? Stable hand, blacksmith, busker, herbalist, hunter, minstrel, scholar, and back to stable hand. Okay. Oh, bunny ears. What is that? Let's. Yeah, it keeps adding the same one. Customize. We'll just random this again. Alright, why not? Hunter, blacksmith, busker. Alright. Loadouts. Time to load up and load out. Each character will be able to spend loadout points on starting items that will prove invaluable on the journey. So work together for the best loadout. So all weapons. Five points cost 3. Okay. And that's character specific. Okay. Well, I have genuinely no idea what would be good to have and what is worth getting. So yeah. Yes, the new item and general overview of this item is available at the bottom of the card. Keep an eye out for rarity, as you may see new items from time to time. And then still got 2. So evasion. Give him evasion, I guess. Alright, and then this guy. Okay, so it is specific to the characters as well. So find distance, armor plus resistance. Let's give this one the crit gloves, because that seems like a good idea. Let's give him some additional armor. 6-foot pole, interrupt, push. Let's give him that, I guess. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Find distance. seems like something a ranger should have, right? Maybe. Use golden root will replenish focus. Serve cure. Minstrel seems like you should have a lockpick, right? Why not? I'll give him some gold. Alright, again. Two decades ago, following King Broner's demise, Queen Rosamund emerged as a symbol of hope, uniting the realms and inspiring a triumphant uprising against the forces of chaos, commanded by the sorcerer Vexor. Their victory brought peace to Faerul. Today, she was succumbed to madness, ruling with an iron fist and instilling fear among her subjects. The citizens, burdened by her tyrannical reign, whisper of a movement known as the Resistance. This growing rebellion aims to challenge Queen Rosamund's oppressive rule and bring out a brighter future for Faerul. Hildegard, Tavern Keeper. My, we haven't seen many adventures in these parts for a spell. Hard to believe it's been 20 years since Chaos Wars, ain't it? Why, I almost missed that little scoundrel, Vexor. He was a right delight next to what we're dealing with these days, heavens me. I'd take a wee bit of thunder and lightning anytime over this. Yes, I would. In case you haven't heard, all's not well in Faerul. The good Queen Rosamund has lost her bleeding mind. Now, as simple folk live in terror, we do. What has happened to our once lovely queen? Look, if you're wanting to help, meet me in Pran and I'll tell you all I know. I won't take longer, I wager. I won't take long, I wager. Keep your peepers on the timer up above. If it runs out, we're done for. Alright. Okay. Welcome to the land of Faerul. Keep a watchful eye up above on the timeline. The timeline shows current round, rising chaos, special events, and the passage from day to night. Watch out for impending chaos. You can see upcoming events related to chaos in the timeline. Hover over the chaos icons on the timeline to see more details. There are different types of chaos, each with different effects. These hearts represent your life pool. When these containers are empty, each party member has one life remaining. After that, it is over for you and your friends. This is the quest log. It keeps track of story objectives or additional objectives you may receive. Select them to get a hint on where to go. Character portraits or HUDs contain important information such as health, armor, resistance, immunity, statues, and more. Statuses and more. Hover over those details to learn more. So attack damage, armor, resistance, evasion, focus, HP, okay, alright, and then the timer, hurry, if time runs out, your quest is over. Cinder pouch, and God's bread, stable hands, enter. Alright, here's the stats: strength, vitality, intelligence, awareness, talent, speed. Talent, speed, luck, okay. What is, oh. Okay. Go to Pran in the Autumn Forest. So I do it one character at a time? Now that you have done all you can do this turn, you are ready to end your turn. Also turn on auto intern. Okay. At the beginning of each turn, your character will skill roll for their movement distance. Pay attention to where you're walking, as some biomes will provide faster or slower movement. The number above your character signifies how far you can move on the current turn. You can also convert focused movement points using mouse button. Okay. Cannot inspect. I feel like maybe you should. Do that. Red hexes represent the enemy's combat range. These highlighted areas will pull in any enemies or allies in that area. Plan your battle wisely. Start a fight with all combatants in the area. It's pickpocket. Enemies can be encountered roaming the lands of Faerul. They can ambush you as well. Keep your weapon ready at all times. Alright. Allies and enemies involved will be displayed above combat encounters, actions. Keep a close eye on up here. Oh my god. You'll be able to fight, ambush, or sneak through a combat encounter unless you're being ambushed. Using focus when ambushing or sneaking might be the key to success in dangerous situations. Attempt to sneak through the enemy's hex. Okay, this is the combat action menu. The left highlights how many targets, the range of damage, and the chance of success. On the right, all of the available actions for this turn are listed. Diamond represents primary actions like attack. When these are used up, the turn is over. The square represents secondary action items. These are typically support actions like heal and move. Spending these wisely will determine victory or failure. The combat timeline displays the order of initiative for current and upcoming rounds. The leftmost icon is first to act. Players can select enemy portraits to change active target. Active status effects are also shown here. Armor is used to block physical attacks. Resistance is used to block magical attacks. Melee can only be done from the front row. Make sure you keep your adventurers with swords and hammers alike at the front and ready. Focus can be used by selecting right mouse button when using an ability. Items that can be used in combat are displayed in your tool belt. These use a secondary action point and may determine your fate in battle. Your party status can be seen here. Status effects and immunities will be shown when active. If all else fails and you are unable to do anything, you may need to skip, turn, or flee. Do not be afraid to fight another day. The best adventurers are the nimble adventurers. Keep a light footing and move to the best position for your strategy. Moving will use a secondary action to allow you to move one tile. Wow, this is a lot of tutorial menus. Health, armor, resistance, and statuses can be seen in the selected enemy HUD. You sure you don't want another 20 of those? Okay. I can actually play the game. Maybe. Secondary action. Got you. Secondary move. Equip weapons. Skip turn. Flee. Pierce. Shot. 0 to 6 physical damage per shot. Per shot. Okay. Breaks armor on perfect. 1 armor. 15 health. And the hunter goes first. All right, let's give it a shot. In over your head. Now might be a good time to run away. To flee, select flee options, select character. I don't want to flee. What are you talking about? Whiff. Looks like you have a shield. This grants guard skill. Anyone standing behind a character with guard cannot be selected for melee or range attack. Plan your battle carefully, though, as they can still be hit with splash and AoE damage. Okay. Alright. Now my stable hand / stab. Let's try for a stab. Oh, that was huge. Okay. All right, back to my hunter. I'll just shoot. Players may have passive abilities trigger at the start of the turn. Bonus. These perks will come in handy at the red plate in the heart. Okay. Currency, gold. Nice. So we decide who takes it. Give it to stable hand, I guess. Drinking this drink will temporarily boost armor and resistance by 10 and reduce evasion by 100. What is this house? Kibo. Alright. 5. Some encounters cannot be focused on and will need careful planning and a bit of luck. Round lady is hauling a cask of ale. I can outdrink the likes of you, she shouts. You wager? Depending on how you roll or choose to use focus to bolster your roll, your expected outcome can be seen here. Okay. I'm not close enough there, so if I engage in combat here, I can pull in multiple people to pull in. Oh, the rat too. Huh? Oh wait, no. Just these two. So Goblin Sniper and Goblin Scrapper. I'll intern because maybe I can do. Oof, only 2. It's terrible. Alright, well, we'll intern. Devious Enchanter. A scruffy, wild-eyed man suddenly appears. I have a game for you, traveler. I suppose I don't have a choice in playing. Random curse. Minus XP, nothing. Plus 12 XP. Wow. It just automatically uses the amount of focus, I suppose. Still says I have focus though, so I'm not really sure. Alright, allies or enemies within support range will be displayed with the support range icon and visible in the combat hex radius. Be careful who you pull in for a fight. Let's try an ambush. Failed. Okay. Because my minstrel wasn't close enough, I guess. Stable hands. And can he... just go for this one. Failed. Okay. Wait, you need to get... You need to move behind him, right? And then... shoot the trickster. That feels like somebody that needs to go down. Oh no, one of your party members is low on health. Looks like you're going to need a quick pick-me-up. Find the nearest inn or use a God's bread to get them back in the fight, okay? Blacksmith's turn. Bash, stun. Ooh. I'm gonna bash... Okay, wait, can I reach him? Okay, can't. Let's try a stab again. I got confused. Alright, nice. I should have focused attacks on that person, on the Goblin Assassin, and knock him out. So might have been able to kill him. You received a status. Pinax can be used to rid yourself of nasty statuses, but it won't help much for curses. Now that I think of it, there was a herb that might help with that. Okay. Right, but I only have one of them, right? I'm not gonna use it unless I actually need to. So, I'm gonna... That sucked. Guess that's what the confused did, huh? Alright, let's do a shot. Oh, he lived. That sucks. Nice, he whiffed that. So he might as well have been dead. Alright. Nice. Alright, stable hands. Go ahead and just take them out. And then shoot them. Okay, attack up buff. Nice. Alright, 16 gold. I don't know. Let's give it to the blacksmith. Why not? Fine distance. We'll give it to the hunter. Well, he already has one of those equipped, so. So he's banged up. Is that... Just get moving to the end. Right. What is that? Could be anything. You will receive poison damage over time when you are poisoned or under another effect. Yeah, okay. How long is he poisoned for? 2 more rounds, wow. Okay. It's actually a while. Will this show me what it is? No. Why are those left? is in the way. What do we have here? Realm dungeons are vast underground gauntlets filled with treasure, guarded by a challenging boss. They cannot be escaped until they are cleared. Okay. Oh my god. Can I sneak? But I do have good evasion. Let's try sneaking. Nice. Maybe we'll go here. And then maybe we'll end that. And then blacksmith. Blend. Alright. What is this? The smell and sound of an iron forge fill the air. A skilled armorer begins to size you up. Market, nice. My busker only has 10 gold though, so... Okay, cool. Information. Alright. Cool. Understood. Alright, well... Praise the sleeping gods, there you are. All this sneaking around is tough on me heart. Under orders of Queen Rosamund, the Queen's Guard have been arresting any who run afoul of her. Most aren't seen again. A young lass by the name of Giselle, by the name of Brizel, has been captured and is being held at the guardhouse. She's a good girl, has become something of a hero to the resistance. The poor thing is scheduled for execution. If we're to stand a chance of stopping this tyranny, we must free her. We'll need to raid the guardhouse. Our best bet is to cause a ruckus in town, forcing the Queen's Guard to react. They'll be running around and leave the guardhouse unguarded. An old-fashioned brawl at the local tavern always gets the guards' attention. Cause a commotion at the tavern in the autumn forest. Okay. Oh, and I happen to know the guards are expecting a supply ship at Tinderton Pier today. They'd sure be mad to see that ship in flames. Okay. Welcome to your first town. Town markets offer a wide variety of goods and services to better prepare you for the adventure ahead. You'll be able to purchase and sell items here. In need of healing, town services have you covered. Feeling adventurous, towns offer a variety of side quests that provide loot or better offer benefits. Choose wisely, as each town will allow your party to take one quest. In need of some extra help, you can hire mercenaries at every town. For a small fee, they will fight alongside you for a limited time. Alright, well, he needs to heal. Replenish all focus points. Staying at the end will replenish a modest amount of HP and focus. Okay. Process of blessing removes all curses. So we'll do that. I mean, it healed him up quite a lot, so. So I guess I'm supposed to go start a ruckus here. But also Yes. Primary place, and it's just a tavern, okay. Show those lazy sods no mercy. Jeremy and his friends haven't paid their tab in years. Alright, let's fight. Hey you, your face looks like a beastman's arse. Ha, good one. Right boys? Winch, another ale. Oh lord, please hurt him. Badly. Alright, Jeremy has the most HP. He's definitely the toughest one. So, oh, I knocked him back. I'm assuming though that this fight doesn't actually end by taking him out. So I'm gonna kill the ads first. His additional people. His help. Ooh, big hit and dazed. Nice. Wow, that hurt. The little fist, that hurt. When a party member is dazed, they will lose their secondary action. Prepare accordingly. Okay. But I can't do it because I got knocked back, so I can't attack. Oh, okay. That's annoying. Alright. Wow, 1 HP, really? Now we can move him forward. And now he can actually do something. Interrupt. And push. Ooh, yeah, that'll set him back. If it's successful. It's not. They lived with 1 health as well. Okay. it's your turn. Let's do this. Oh, nice. And we'll try to pierce on him. So he has 2 armor. Nice. Wow, why does he keep dodging? Sucks. Solid 1 HP. Love it. Oh yeah, that was a good hit. Ah, dodged again. Nice. Stool. Knock right, knock left. Okay. Watch out, this weapon is breakable. It may not have the best build quality, but looks like it can pack a punch. That's what that is, I'm assuming. Okay. I guess... to the busker. Shank cut. Large bag overflowing with a wealth of gold. Yeah, that's a good amount of gold. Busker is pretty hurt. Aha, it looks like you found your first portal scroll. Portal scrolls and teleport scrolls are great ways to get your party around Faerû. Teleport will teleport a single party member. Portal are quite a bit more powerful and will open a portal that the entire party can travel through. Okay. Nice. Give it to the hunter. Sure, why not? Armor, resistance, gold multiplier, secondary action, talent. Armor, evasion, strength. Strength though. Giggles. Oh my, that felt good. I see you found his pouch of gold. Don't mind if I take some of it to pay off his tab? Oh. It took all of it. Pleasure doing business with you. Yeah, sure, it was a pleasure. Glad I could get beat up and you could take all the gold. Alright. We gotta set the Queensguard cargo ship ablaze. Alright. My stable hand is properly healed up, so let's get him back down into the mess things. Should he fight? It's raining. Don't suppose you have an umbrella. Keep an eye out for the weather, obviously. Okay. Hunter. Turn. A young witch. Some abilities or weather may affect the battle grid. You may not stand in that. However, you might be able to use it to your advantage on your enemies. Free gold. Nice. The guys over here. Alright, is the blacksmith close enough if I do this? Don't just stand there, dear. Burn the thing to the ground. What's that? It could be anything. Encounters can be opportunities, shiny new loot, friend or foe, find a friend, or other additional bonuses. It uses speed. Wait up. Who has the best speed? Stable hand does, so I definitely want to do it with the stable hand. So we're gonna end his turn. Blacksmith will just put over here. Turn. Busker. Right here. And turn, I guess. I don't know. Alright, stable hands. Now let's do it. Nice. Okay, excellent. Queensguard will see it all the way from town. Queensguard, smoke. What's going on over there? Stable hand is now level 1. Don't ever roll give. You ever roll gift for violence, don't you? We done this before? Let's get on with it then, shall we? Okay. Shaman healer. Stable hand's pretty good. I don't know if I want to... Alright, Slippery Nibbler. You found your first dungeon. Great treasure and dangerous foes lurk in the shadows in these multi-room encounters. Entering a dungeon will pull your entire party in to join in on the fun. Cool. Let's do it. Alright. Ranger, soldier, plains wolf. Is it his left or my? Oh, I use it. Keep an eye on the timeline for the upcoming rooms to prepare for. You never know what it could be. You'll be able to take a breather after each combat, treasure, or encounter in a dungeon. If there's another floor, you'll be able to set up a tinder pouch to rest or meditate for some much-deserved shut-eye. Okay? trap. Who shall be the brave adventurer to push the party forward? Keep an eye on the trap stat and choose the best adventurer for the job. If any of your party has a lockpick, you'll be able to open it with no issues. Bashing it is always a good option, as knocking down the door will allow your entire party through. 81. Why are you so strong? He's also got a lockpick. He's got 2 lockpicks, I believe. Nice. Got some treasure. Six gold. Assassin's blade. Queen's mace. Damage against undead. Okay. Pirate vest. Awareness, talent, speed, steel immunity, crit chance, and armor. Scoundrel, evasion, crit chance. Queen's apprentice robes. Armor resistance, HP regen, shock immunity. To the busker, I guess, even though that's not ideal. Party armor, attack damage, gold multiplier. Any final meal preps? Can I? Continue. Combat, and then that's a boss. Okay. Alright, stable hand. Going first. Poison strike. Alright, let's see. Some rangers, soldier. Alright, who we got up? Stable hand. Poison strike. Right, let's try that. Ooh, critical, nice. And he's poisoned. Cool. Alright, so let's do. Wanna move behind somebody with guard. Heavy knockback. Let's do a normal shot because, I mean, we can't. Oh! Nice! Ow. Alright. Busker is up. I guess we can. Whatever, it doesn't matter. That's stool chunks. Right. Stunned. Just do a shot. Take out the ranger. Nice. Move up. Alright, now. Ooh, nice. Got some 16 gold there. We'll share the load, Hunter. This is the same as what they've got, so I'll give it to the busker, actually. Same exact. Give it to the stable lamb, but we're not going to equip it. Alright, so we got a boss room next round, so let's go ahead and use the tinder pouch. And rest up as much as you can. And they don't really need to meditate, but... Alright. Alright, we got the big boy here. Queen's Guard Elite. You're wasting your time. The prisoner you're looking for has just been transported. Your little band of miscreants are committing a serious crime. You will not escape so easily. Alright, we got Stable Hand up first. Let's try to poison the boss. Just get some, also, can we knock him back? If we can successfully knock him back, that would be huge. We did not. That sucks. He's almost dead, so we'll just take him out. Nice. Helmet came off and everything. I think I want to take that mage out. I feel like those elemental effects will be a pain, so... Don't want more of those fireballs going around. I completely forgot about that wolf over there. You should move, huh? Oh, okay, you can't jump, so I would have to slide. Okay. That makes sense. I kind of like it that way. That makes sense. Ah. Nice. Alright, well, let's take out the wolf. See if we can get a knockback on him. Nope. Nice. More gold, okay. Queen's Bowman gear. Armor, evasion, HP, and speed. So my hunter does not have any gear on, so yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And then we're gonna go to a treasure chest, so. Ooh, big juicy treasure. Alright, only 10 gold, and we'll just share that. Alright, prisoner manifests. Documents mention transportation for criminals. These seem to be not one, but two separate prisoners transported on the last departure. Okay. Use fire silk, restores the user perfect health. Okay. Magic damage. -4 luck. Guess equip it to him, I guess. I don't know. Push hook lock. I mean, give it to him in case. Alright, scoundrel best. Armor, resistance, evasion, crit chance, gold, talent, speed, steal immunity, confuse immunity. like this better. Lore book. A rare manuscript of Faerul's stored history can be used to unlock secrets throughout the land. This, 5 of them. This is used in the main menu. Oh, praise be, you are alive. But we were too late. Grizel has been taken away in a prisoner cart. All the way over here. Afraid of the crown, you will stand trial and parade for your crimes against the queen. You think this carriage can hold me? Just wait until the rest of the resistance catches up. Oh yeah, that's a funny one. Guards, capture those treacherous fools as well. Do tell Rosamund I send my regards when I'm gone, won't you? Very confident. Well, now you're gone and done it, haven't you? Those guards aren't going to rest till they catch you. There's no time to waste. Make your way east and beware of Queensguard ambushes. Alright, rescue Grizel from prisoner cart in the grasslands. One last thing. Would you be a dear and look for my husband while you are out? He left for the grasslands yesterday with his wagon. Hopefully he didn't get tangled up with the Bandit King. Okay. Alright. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there for this one. It's already been over an hour, so. For the King 2, I like it. Not sold yet, but I do like it, and I definitely am gonna play some more. Definitely potential for sure. So I know this is like just the start, so there's so much I have not seen and know about. So let's go back to the main menu real quick, and we'll check out the lore books, lore store here. So we got 5 books. We use them. All right. So there's, what is it, six characters we still have unlocked. The item doesn't meet the prereq, so obviously we got to do it from playing, I'm sure. So, right, so characters, but I can't unlock those. So loadout, so we can buy loadout items with the lore books, I guess. Traits. +1 secondary action, skill tactics. Okay, so this is going to be added to the loadout. And then all of this is locked. Cosmetics. Okay. Mercenaries. And then I guess these are guys that you can pick up. All this, there's not much to spend the books on at the moment, so I don't. Okay. All right, yeah, we'll have to check that out some more. So yeah, For the King 2 has potential for sure.